At Google, AI isn't a tomorrow thing. It's a today thing. And sure, we can ask for answers to life's tough questions. But today, we can also ask it to do tough things, like ship that wood more efficiently, use satellites to reduce methane emissions, turn DNA into code to make drought-resistant corn? Oh, cool. It can spot and fill potholes, spot disease earlier, spot asteroids to protect Earth. It can create apps with just words and just hours. Today, Google AI can scan 100,000 lines of code in 2 minutes to spot and fix bugs. It can translate from code to code and is one step closer to speaking 1,000 languages, even whale. Today, AI impacts lives for the better and understands the world the way you do. Our AI spots threats 7 times faster, understands speech sentiments, helps prevent vision loss, predicts weather 10 days out in 2 minutes, translates thousands of pages in seconds, detects lead pipes to keep drinking water clean, eliminates paperwork so care is more human, generates from text, visuals, audio, and video, creates entire worlds from your imagination, creates this thing and that thing, a new thing, the new way to cloud.
Please welcome to the stage, Tara Brady.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the London Summit, the Google Cloud London Summit. It's great to be back here in London. It's where I grew up, only a couple of miles from here. So it's my home, it's my manor. Grew up all snot and marmite, running around as toddlers when I was younger. So this is a good feel to be back, and it feels really, really special today. So, 7 years ago, we launched Google Cloud Platform, newcomers disrupting an established software market. Today, our cloud business alone is now the 4th largest enterprise software company in the world. Google customers using Gemini have increased by more than 4 times this past year. And more than 60% of the world's largest 1,000 companies are Google Cloud customers. We are the fastest growing, the most secure, open, and AI-powered platform available. Fact. There are 3 reasons our customers are choosing to solve these challenges, so let's dive a little bit deeper. 1. First, security. This is top of mind of every customer I speak to. Google offers the most comprehensive security features on the market. Our superior track record speaks for itself. We have the best uptime and are committed to maintaining the most secure platform for your business. Our customers agree. Fintech giant Revolut, we chose Google Workspace for its simplicity and security. Their words. Second, the most important thing I'm hearing from customers is openness and flexibility. We have always worked to support a thriving cloud ecosystem that is open, secure, and interoperable. What Chrome and Android, as an example, are known for. When your business needs to evolve, your cloud should be flexible enough to accommodate those changes because it makes sense for your business, not because your legacy provider has locked you in with bad contracting terms, penalties, punitive licensing practices. And finally, AI. AI is changing the world, and we're leading the charge. Google invented generative AI and built on open source tools that drive innovation in machine learning and AI. Gemini's performance already exceeds current tech on almost all widely used benchmarks, and it's only going to get better. The quality of a model is based on the quality of data. So, of course, we ground our AI on Google Search, the most trusted and reliable search engine. We enable third-party models to do so, unlike others. We have our own world-class engineering capabilities and DeepMind researchers based in London. They're helping transform organizations across all industries with AI. 90% of AI unicorns run on our cloud, and 60% of all AI-funded startups use our infrastructure. We also see traditional companies building both high-performance and generative AI models on our cloud. One customer I'm excited about is Vodafone, who yesterday announced a multi-billion-dollar strategic partnership with us, including Google Cloud, cybersecurity, and devices across Europe and Africa. You'll hear more stories, incredible stories, from local customers including Lloyds Banking Group, Bupa, and Kingfisher, and many others. We are the full stack AI company that has the most secure and most open technology to make you successful. So let's create industry-changing opportunities together now. But don't just hear it from me. Let's hear from an organization you're all very familiar with, Lloyds Bank. Lloyds is committed to digital transformation and excellent customer service. And to tell us more, I'd please like to welcome to the stage Lloyds Chief Data and Analytics Officer, Ranil Bottajoo. Last time I saw you. Okay, nice to see you, Ranil. How's
Thanks,
it going?
Tara. Good.
Good, so a few questions
Yeah,
from the
no
audience. First one, can you describe your vision for the bank and some of your business challenges?
Sure. So Lloyds has quite an inspiring purpose. I think it's what got me to Lloyds about 3 years ago. So our purpose as a bank is helping Britain prosper. So if I think about my role and what I'm trying to do at Lloyds, I always try and kind of paraphrase it as helping Britain prosper with data and AI. I want to really supercharge our bank's purpose with all of the data and AI tools that we can build and partner with people like Google Cloud to build.
Number two, tell us about some of the ways of which Google is helping you.
Yeah, sure. So it's probably worthwhile maybe just spending a minute talking about our whole approach to our AI strategy. So we have decided that we want to really focus on a number of verticals. So we're focused on building AI capabilities for engineers, so really transform the whole engineering process. We have a set of AI products that are all about helping our back office teams, so lots of things to do with origination, claims, etc. And then we have a set of capabilities that we want to build to support frontline colleagues, so people like RMs, contact center staff, and people in the branch. And then finally, we want to build a set of AI products for direct to customers, so 4 verticals. And what we've started to do is really prioritize building various AI solutions towards that. And I've got 3 or 4 that I could kind of really share. So one of the first ones is in the engineering space. So we have a lot of various migrations and application transformations that we've got to work. It requires a lot of translating of code. What we've built is basically a code translation capability, and we built that with Google. It uses a combination of Google algorithms as well as open source. But what it enables us to do is translate code. So we can go from version 1.1 of Scala to 2.1 very quickly, and we've proven that it gives us a 30 to 40% efficiency gain. So that's been very significant in terms of our pace at which we can actually migrate new applications. That's one use case. The second use case relates to threat intelligence. So this is in our cybersecurity world, and we have a lot of data sources around attack vectors, various sort of cybersecurity threats. And again, we've built a generative AI solution that is able to take in all that data, summarize it, and really provide us with a much greater intel to actually address those. We're now rebuilding that on Gemini 1.5. And then thirdly, the one that I'm very excited about is a capability that categorizes and summarizes all sorts of documents. We use this for whether it's complaints, all sorts of origination processes. And again, we built that. That was one of our first use cases on Gemini. That has, we estimate just this year will save us £15 million in basically costs that we don't need to do because we can actually automate that. So 3 use cases where we're really starting to see the power of the
business excited?
You know what? Very excited. So one of the really great things about Lloyds, which I'm really glad about, is from the board to the CEO to the top team, they are absolute advocates and evangelists for the use of AI. So they're very excited about some early wins from these use cases.
Great. And how's Google helping?
So Google is helping us in a number of ways. So I think one of the key things is, and this is the reason for our partnership with you. We, if I kind of rewind, years ago, the 2019, 2020, before I started, one of the reasons that we selected Google was our strong belief that Google is a company with AI at its heart. Right, so there's a number of different cloud providers, but we thought, Google's DNA is in AI. And so where we're really partnering with you is co-building things. Mm-hmm. So if I think about the approach that we've got with the Categorize and Summarizer, we actually created a joint team. So we had a bunch of colleagues from Lloyds, a bunch of colleagues from Google, worked together and actually co-created a new capability. So that type of partnership is really unique. we really want to continue with that. So really tap into the skills that you've got, the experience, your focus on various industry verticals that we're very excited about. That's something that is quite unique. So that ability to partner, tap into your skills, and really kind of work together, that's been something that's, I guess, quite differentiating for us.
And what's the future hold for Lloyds?
Yes, so we think about generative AI use case in particular in three buckets. The first is, things that are really focused on the back office, low risk for us. The second is, use cases where there's a human in the loop. We're progressing at pace with those. But the third bucket is one that, we're a bit cautious about. So we are a bank, we're regulated. And so we'd love to do more. We're exposing the generative capabilities directly to customers. So we want to really test into that space. And we're now partnering with Google on really thinking through what would an approach be where we actually built intelligent agents, almost, so we're calling that AI as a channel, and it's going to take us 2 or 3 horizons, but that's something I'm really excited about. It's almost a reimagining of what a banking experience would be, that you've got a set of intelligent agents that can actually help you with all of your banking. So, as I said, it's going to take 2 or 3 horizons, but it's an area where we felt, we want to do this. We want to start in the context of getting the right guardrails. Obviously we'll work closely with regulators to, make sure we do this safely. But it's definitely an area that we see tremendous value from our partnership with Google.
Thanks very much, Renaud. I appreciate your support and your partnership. Thank
No
you very
worries.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers. I'm now delighted to introduce Anne-Marie Lamb, Sales Director at Google Cloud, to share more on what's new in the market. Welcome to the stage, Anne-Marie. You okay?
Thank you very much, Tara. Good morning. I want to start off with a little story about memorable speeches because I thought that was quite a memorable opening. For myself, a few years ago now, when I walked up onto the stage, all confident, and I get to the top step of the stage, and my shoe catches on the top of the stage step, and it flies across the stage. I swear if I'd have taken my shoe off and thrown it, it would not have gone as far as it flew. Now, if you've ever seen those city pigeons, you know the ones with the unfortunate legs? That was me to try and get my shoe. So I do hope this morning is memorable for the content versus the unplanned entertainment. So I want to start by saying thank you to our customers and partners for being here today. You are what makes today super special. And you might be sitting here thinking, what are we going to get out of this? This is a valuable use of your time and you're spending it here with us. Well, I hope that we inspire you with the confidence and the possibilities of what is available now with cloud, with Google Cloud, and also with AI innovation. If you think about the pace of change, and oh my gosh, it is breathtaking how we have progressed over the past 12 months. From the simplest of things, such as, taking your phone out, you've got a photo, you don't want that person in that photo anymore, right swipe it with your thumb, they're no longer in the photo. Pretty useful. To actually predicting protein structures, which is incredibly complex. This has all progressed over the past 12 months. So today and tomorrow, you have got the opportunity to enjoy a number of our breakout sessions. Whether or not it's modernizing for innovation, improving infrastructure for speed or sustainability, or perhaps security being top of mind, which is pretty much top of mind for everybody right now. There is a showcase for you to enjoy somewhere. If you prefer to be a little more hands-on, we've got our hands-on learning experiences, which you can enjoy. And you're not just going to hear stories from us. You're going to hear stories from our partners and customers as well. At the end of today, there is an opportunity to network and enjoy some drinks, so please do stay around for that. Now, I can't go any further on without saying a special thank you to all of our summit sponsors, but also our premier sponsors as well. Accenture, Deloitte, Palo Alto Networks, and Codia, the new name for Apps Broker CTS. Thank you. Right, let's come back to the pace of change because it is, thank you very much, sponsors. So let's come back to that pace of change. When I talk to customers now, it is not about if you should be using generative AI. Those days are gone. It's now actually, how can I leverage generative AI and actually deliver gains and deliver innovation into the hands of the teams? The ability to create content from your own data assets and actually get insights from that is possible right now today. And companies worldwide are leveraging our technology, including many UK brands, and they're actively deploying generative AI as part of their core applications and functions. It's been used in a variety of ways, whether or not it's to do with customer engagement, content creation, drug discovery, or actual digital experience. It's enabling the transformation of disease diagnosis, drug discovery, and also patient care. For example, Bayer is working with a life sciences organization to build AI solutions that deliver up diagnostics for radiologists that deliver better patient outcomes. Now, I mentioned about the pace of change, and here at Google Cloud, we have got a lot of change going on. In the past 12 months, we've had over 1,000 product enhancements for Google Cloud and Workspace. And it doesn't stop there. We are growing our global presence and stimulating economic growth locally. We've now got over 40 cloud regions, 121 zones, and another 10 under construction. And we can't forget our $1 billion investment here in the UK into our new data center that opens next year. Now, we can't forget subsea cables, because they are really interesting. And we've got 32 of them, including our Grace Hopper, which connects Cornwall to Bilbao and New York as well. That enables the UK customers to enjoy Google Cloud services right here across the world. Now, Grace Hopper was put in a couple of years ago, and I mentioned that it has the ability to connect additional services here in the UK. The resilience of these cables are really important. It gives you security, reliability, and of course resilience. And even sharks that seem to like to have a little nibble at them are not getting through the wonderful Kevlar coating. So even things that perhaps you hadn't necessarily thought about in terms of resilience, well, we like to think we've got you covered. Now, we think we've earned the bragging rights to say we're pretty good. And you'd probably expect us to say we're pretty good. But also 34 top industry analyst evaluations in the last year also say we're pretty good at what we do. We are leaders, whether or not it is security, AI, infrastructure, data analytics. The list goes on, and this translates into real value for our customers. And it reinforces our commitment to delivering the best possible cloud solutions for you. I also love the fact that we've got over 2 million developers now leveraging our AI infrastructure and generative AI solutions today. Now, here's one of our first announcements. I am really excited to announce a leap in the capabilities of Code Assist with Code Assist Enterprise, which is providing developers with enterprise-grade application development and application development assistance. Now, with all this talk of AI, it's also important to consider the impact on the environment. AI is becoming even more efficient. It delivers 3 times more computing power with the same energy that we used 5 years ago. This is because we consider the development from the chip all the way up to the software stack. It can also reduce emissions. A recent BCG report estimated that by 2030, it could cut our global greenhouse gas emissions by about 10%. So I do think it is going to create a very crucial role in actually delivering positive impact. And we are deeply invested into the success of the UK. Our commitment does go beyond technology. We aim to foster a thriving ecosystem where organizations can utilize the power of AI. And we want to spur real economic growth to create opportunities for everyone. Now, further to this commitment, I am really thrilled to announce a major step forward in our approach to data residency here in the UK. Starting next month, you can leverage the power of Gemini 1.5 Flash for machine learning processing, all whilst keeping your data securely within UK borders. This means that everything from data storage to inference to output generation happens locally here, giving you complete control and peace of mind. This is a game changer to the UK organisations where data sovereignty is paramount. We also believe that the UK is a hub for innovation and entrepreneurship. So it gives me great pleasure to share that we're deepening our investment in the UK startup ecosystem with the launch of our first ever Google Cloud Startup Hub right here in London, and actually it's only 10 minutes up the road as well. And it's not just startups we're partnering with. We've been collaborating with many leading enterprises now to help them transform and grow their businesses. Hiscox is one of the oldest operating the Lloyd's of London specialty insurance market. They are using Vertex AI to create the first AI-enhanced lead underwriting model, showing potential to reduce the time to quote from complex risks from days down to a few minutes. We also have Monzo. Now, Monzo are one of the UKI's first challenger banks and one of the first banks to be 100% cloud-based using GCP for a seamless redundancy for their banking app to ensure their customers always have access to money, even in the event of third-party outages. And finally, Dunelm, the UK's leading home furnishings retailer. They are now providing a significantly improved search experience for its online customers using Vertex AI Search for Retail. Early testing of this new Gen AI platform highlights significant reduction in search friction, returning them less than 1% of search results having a 0 result rating. So these enhancements allow customers to quickly discover the perfect products for their homes. And I don't know about you, I find it infuriating when sometimes you want to search for something on that website and you know it's there, but you can't find it. So as you've seen, there's a common thread here across success stories using innovative use of data and AI. So with that in mind, I am delighted to introduce Paul Schuster, CTO of Bupa, to the stage.
Hey, Anne-Marie.
Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. Please do sit down.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I am really excited with what you're doing with your organisation at the moment, working with cloud. So thank you for joining us here today. Tell me a little bit about Bupa's Connected Care Vision and what it really means and what it means for improving your customer experience, please.
Great. So let me start with Bupa's ambition, which is to be the world's most customer-centric healthcare company. And that's a commitment to deliver an excellent customer experience. One way we're doing that is through Connected Care, which is showcasing Bupa's unique capability to bring together both the funding of healthcare and the provision of healthcare. And so we're connecting our different businesses together. And in doing so, we're able to deliver great service and great value to our customers. We can reduce the cost of healthcare. We can address barriers in accessing care, and we can deliver excellent clinical outcomes. And digital is right at the heart of that. The digital platform that my team are working on is expanding Bupa's ability to deliver connected care services to meet customer demand and allow Bupa to innovate those services a lot faster.
How does this really improve people's access to healthcare, though?
So, Anne-Marie, look, the way I think about this is that our platform is really tackling the last mile and allowing us to bring healthcare into the home, into the workplace. And a really great way to bring that to life is I've just come back from a week's holiday. I got back on Saturday evening. So
you can tell it's a giveaway.
It's a real tan. It's not stage makeup. I woke up Sunday morning. I didn't feel well. On our Bupa app, I was able to do an online symptom check. I was offered a care pathway. Within 2 hours, I'd had a video consultation with a prescribing nurse. I was assessed, prescribed medicine, had the option to have that medicine delivered to my door, and onward referral, all on the Bupa app. So this is an amazing, seamless, frictionless experience of getting access to healthcare. But we're going beyond that, and the platform that we're building enables our business to wrap around that subscription-based services. We recently launched a subscriptions-based service, and this is allowing us to provide, for a small monthly recurring charge, access to these services to underserved parts of the community that haven't got or can't afford a full-blown private medical insurance.
I think that sounds incredible. What about the platform that's going to support earlier care and prevention strategies? I'd be really interested to learn a little bit more about that, please.
Yeah, so at Bupa, we're very focused on predictive and preventative medicine. And the challenge there is how to link together a complete view of a customer's health. One way that we are doing that, our colleagues in Spain on the platform are allowing our customers to connect wearables and smartphones so that they can stream 24/7 real-time healthcare data to Bupa. We connect that with the electronic health medical records, and we feed that to multidisciplinary clinical teams that can then identify early warning signs. We can then offer our customers next best action. That might be, for example, setting goals or making lifestyle choices before problems occur. So this is really, really interesting. I think we're right at the very early stages of what's possible here when you think about future possibilities of applying AI or applying, say, genomic sequencing so that we can provide personal risk scores to customers. This is really getting into hyper-personalized healthcare.
I love that. I think the bit that now comes to top of mind, though, is if you've got all of these systems interconnected to give that real, transparent, and seamless process, how do you go about ensuring that my information remains secure and private on this new platform?
Yeah, so big topic. Obviously, we're dealing with some of the most sensitive data that we can do. Two aspects here. First of all, we need to get the foundations of the platform right, both the architecture and the engineering correct. And this is where we're partnering with Google. We've chosen to work with Google. As Tara was saying, you've got one of the most secure cloud platforms. But also we want to tap into Google's expertise and experience in building consumer-grade, secure platforms. So we're working with Google, also working with Google Healthcare APIs. These implement FHIR standards. FHIR is F-H-I-R. It's health data interoperability standards. So a lot of work on the core platform engineering architecture foundations. The other part of the equation is getting strong governance. And what I find really interesting about Bupa is that not only are we governed by the Care Quality Commission in terms of healthcare provision in the UK, but as an insurer and a funder, we are also subject to financial regulation. That's the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, and the PRA, the Prudential Regulatory Authority. And so we are having the exact same conversations with those regulators and that same oversight around things like ops resilience, cybersecurity, data privacy, that all of the major high street banks are and all the systemic financial institutions in the UK are. And I think that combination of a very strong governance framework and oversight framework and the deep engineering work we're doing with Google to get the foundations of the platform right should give our customers the confidence that their data is secure and it's private.
Well, you certainly make me feel better. You could have just answered it's on Google Cloud, and that would have been great. But no, you've given a lot more content there.
Great.
Thank you so much, Paul,
Welcome.
for joining
Lovely
us.
to be
Really, really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, now we're on to the next area. So I'd like to welcome Oliver Parker onto the stage, who is our General Manager for Generative AI. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Good morning, London. I am from London, despite a very odd American accent that's infused. But I've been back here for the last couple of weeks. It's great to be here. I didn't grow up 2 miles away. I was born and bred in West London. We can get into soccer teams, or as you would say, obviously football teams, but I won't get into that with Tara. But all joking aside, it is phenomenal to be back. Very excited to be back in the UK. And you know, it's great to be back, sort of leading generative AI for Google Cloud globally. just in light of the history with the UK and very specifically with AI is unbelievable, especially some of the history and some of the people, and obviously with Demis and our Google DeepMind research organization. So I'm going to share a little bit around sort of where we're going, some of the trends that we're seeing. I then have the opportunity to bring up a couple of clients to the stage. I think in the role of generative AI and what we're doing as a company, and quite frankly, what many technology companies are doing, the importance of not just talking about technology and what the technology building blocks are, but actually showing it up through real-life scenarios is probably one of the most important things. It was great to hear what Lloyds were doing, then listening to Paul around Bupa and sort of thinking through not just what they're delivering today for healthcare, but the net sets of experience which fundamentally are built on generative AI capabilities. So when we think about generative AI and you start to think about platforms and systems, and you think about the different vendor landscape, we think there's three really important components to building generative AI and being it applicable and helpful for everyone. And the way that Google thinks about this is the way that we built our cloud platform from the very beginning. And we built basically a full stack approach. It's often referred to as a vertically optimized stack. And this is very unique for us in the market versus other hyperscalers or even other research organizations that are building great models but don't necessarily think about a full stack approach. First off, we have world-leading models. You heard from Tara, you've heard from Lloyds, you've heard from Bupa. They are leveraging our models, whether it's Gemini or even our open source instantiation, just in light of our long history and commitment to the open source community. The second aspect is what it means to build a world-leading infrastructure. And for many of you know, obviously we support NVIDIA on the GPU side, obviously we have CPUs, but for the last 10 years, we've been building what we call TPUs. And our TPU platform, our Tensor Processing Unit platform, that was built, purpose-built for Google, because a lot of the machine learning capabilities and the hardware infrastructure that we needed to power our own first-party services. But here we are 10 plus years later, and the adoption of that platform for clients that are thinking deeply around machine learning and generative AI capabilities, we see continued optionality with clients around all areas of the stack, and very specifically on the hardware. And I'll introduce Sachin later, who will go more into our different accelerator options. And then the third component, which is often overlooked, but quite frankly, I think we're in this phase now where you've got great models, you've got capabilities, and people are starting to build. You need an enterprise platform to be able to deploy, manage, and run your AI systems and applications. Obviously, we have consumer-grade companies here, but we also have businesses. And all of you, as you start to think about scaling these generative AI capabilities throughout your organization, you need an enterprise platform to enable that. That platform we built, again, internally to serve and deploy our models across all our properties. That is the platform that we often refer to as Vertex. And there's a lot of capabilities in there that we'll get through later. And then Vertex as a platform, and obviously the scale that we think about right now, Vertex, those capabilities, that was built to serve our own properties, as I mentioned. Those are properties that are serving, we have 6 properties now serving over 2 billion users annually. So those properties and those capabilities we built for scale. So when you start to think about sort of infrastructure, to platforms, to models, we think we're very unique in terms of our capability. But what's most important about this is it's not just that we have a vertically integrated stack or we invest in those 3 areas, which is different than anyone else, is those 3 areas allow a full flywheel of understanding. So if you have leading edge research, they understand the compute and the hardware requirements. And at the same time, if you have first-party properties that need to scale and infuse AI at the core, you need a platform. So all those capabilities are actually helping each of those different areas of the stack. The other aspect that's very important for us, again, in our history, is providing you optionality. Again, we are obviously we have our own first-party models, but the growth that we're seeing on the Vertex platform of third-party and OSS models is unbelievable. So we are going to market with companies like Anthropic, we are working with Cohere, we are working with Mistral, and we're also now starting to do much more partnership with Meta based on their recent Llama models. So when you think about optionality of models and you start to think about developers building, we believe Vertex is a great platform for that. And while we obviously have our own first-party models, we're deeply committed to an open ecosystem, as you heard earlier. So the next sort of what I would say sort of phase or sort of wave of AI evolution is very much in the agent space. Now, for any of us that are in tech, and you wake up every morning, everybody is talking about agents. So I will do my best to sort of at least frame up how we think about building agents, or even agents that we've even built that are pre-built for many of you that decide to use some of the work that we're doing. Think about agents as really sort of this next phase where you go from action to outcome. You heard some of the conversation earlier from Lloyd's when they started thinking about that full life cycle and the agents and that sort of that digital channel. That over time, not that I want to speak on behalf of their technology, that over time is a series of agents working with each other to deliver an experience for a client. So while you've got these great platforms, you've got these LLMs, they're incredibly powerful. They come to life through agents. So you'll see here we've got 6 agents. This is where we are spending a lot of our time. So customer agents, obviously we're all consumers. We see customer agents, or what was, I would say, sort of previously more chatbots, deterministic, QA, but quite frankly, that often led to people picking up the phone and going on a website. Thinking through that experience being fundamentally different, where you'll get semantic understanding, those agents will learn. You could have a full life cycle travel assistant where you say, I'd like to go somewhere hot for the weekend. It needs to be under 500 pounds. I want to stay at a 3-star hotel. Oh, and by the way, I want to be within walking distance of local nightlife. So you start to think about that kind of semantic understanding and interaction with agents that leads to a sequence of workflows that kick off. There's just an example of a customer service agent, and that is the space right now that we're seeing a significant amount of uptick in demand, whether that's companies that are actually full stack service agent companies that you'll see in the marketplace, or if you're building yourself, we have something called Agent Builder, which sits in our platform, which is a low-code, no-code platform to be able to build those agents yourself. Employee agents. Very simple tasks like, what are my healthcare benefits? That's a search and retrieval task. Okay, I don't like what I've got for my health benefits. I want to change my health benefits. Can you please change my health benefits? Can you put more of a deductible on it? I'd like to take that out of payroll, or I should say paycheck. Those are the kinds of sequencing actions where you start to interact with these agents that deeply changes the value of generative AI because it's delivered to you in a very human way. And by the way, this could be done through speech, this could be done through voice, or this can be done through text. So then you start to change the modality of how you're interacting with these agents. Creative agents, we made an announcement a couple of weeks ago with Puma around how they have this creative assistant, and they are leveraging our Imagen model to create product images for a relaunch of an e-commerce site. A significant reduction in time to creation of those capabilities online, and they've already seen in their India market over a 10% increase in conversion. So these agents really are about personalizing against very specific functions of how you take advantage of these generative capabilities. Data agents. We all have dashboards. We all have querying that we're doing against different data sets. What if you could do a natural language query saying, hey, what's going on in this part of my business? And then start to think about, well, why is this going on? Based on the data you're seeing, what do you think are some of the predictions? So you can see that agents really are bringing to life these kinds of amazing capabilities that have been served through model providers. And we're very invested in building that capability so you can build your own agents, and to a certain extent, even companies that we're partnering with that are building on our platform that are creating their own agents themselves. So customer agents. So think about, and I'm leading back to customer agents because I'm going to bring a client on stage that's going to talk a little bit more. There's 3 aspects of customer agents that we think are driving the most impact. Number 1, it's the ability to synthesize and reason across all types of multimodal information to give the right answer. We're very unique with Gemini, our family of models, which is a multimodal model. I've got that right when I'm saying it, a multimodal model. But it gives you the ability, speech, code, text, audio, and video. So you can take a picture of something and upload it to an assistant to get feedback. You could be on a website searching for something, or you could say, we're working with this retailer right now that's delivering these capabilities to their end users, where you take a picture of a dress or a pair of trousers or whatever it is and saying, do you have anything like this? So you're working real time with these assistants to show across all these different modalities and to have an interactive experience. The second thing that's really important and why we're seeing the rise of customer agents is the ability to communicate and engage naturally. You could be interacting with an agent that is typing, you could be interacting with an agent that is voice, or they could be writing back. And you start to think about the intonation with how they're writing, the inflection in their voice. These things need to be really natural, because if they're not natural, all of us as consumers, we will go to a different path of engaging on a digital channel. And then finally, when you're asking for something, it needs to be access and reason incredibly quickly are foundational. As Tara mentioned earlier, we have grounding, and all of our models are built and leverage the data sets of search. So our ability to provide a search for grounding as a service to these models is unparalleled in terms of helping you from a factual standpoint, as well as obviously leveraging the platform to interact with your own data sets and your own third-party systems. So that's just at least a little bit of the high level, what we're doing on the platform, the models and the infrastructure, where we're going with agents and some of the demand that we're seeing. With that, I'm now going to invite to the stage Sarah and Mohsen from Screwfix and Kingfisher, respectively. Kingfisher and Screwfix. So Kingfisher is, as you probably know, is a retail conglomerate with multiple brands across multiple countries. Screwfix, and I'll ask Sarah on stage in a moment, and she'll share a little bit more. For anyone that does home improvement, whether it's yourself, or more importantly, whether you've been leveraging tradespeople, Screwfix really is the core digital platform for tradespeople and being able to have them work directly on many of the home improvements that many of us probably have on a day-to-day basis, or at least at certain points in the year, in terms of being able to sort of change our living environment and so on. So with that, now we can roll the music. Please invite to the stage Mohsen and Sarah. Thank you. Okay, if you can't see, Sarah has a Screwfix jumper on, by the way.
Now available.
It's not a Christmas sweater. It's a Christmas sweater, but it's a Screwfix Christmas sweater. Okay, thank you both for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start with Mohsen. Mohsen, maybe just sort of share a little bit of context around what Kingfisher do, at least at the highest level, and then how you've really been partnering with Google Cloud to solve some of the challenges across the group.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, we are an international home improvement company known by our big brands like Screwfix and B&Q. So we have 2,000 stores in 8 countries in Europe. So we have 78,000 colleagues supporting us to deliver home improvement products and services. So within the Kingfisher Group, our main goal is supporting our brands to achieve their strategic goals. And when it comes to using AI technology to improve our product and services, especially for trade people, then we are here, right, to actually establish that infrastructure. So to support this vision, we established a functional AI function, a central AI function within the group to build in-house capabilities on the top of Google Cloud Platform, not only to improve our customer experience, but also to start improving our colleagues' efficiency, which is what is offering to all the banners across Kingfisher.
So really building that core central AI nervous system and then partnering with the different brands.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, awesome. Sarah,
Hi.
tell me a little bit about your job, because I think it's interesting. It's great to have e-commerce people on stage. And then give me a little bit more context around Screwfix as a brand and sort of what you're doing.
So I think I have the best job at Screwfix because I look after digital, and digital is 75% of Screwfix's revenue. And people don't realize how big a digital business Screwfix is. So we are in the top 10 UK most visited retail websites. We have 8 million visitors a week. Our target customers are tradespeople who have high frequency and high intent. So speed and convenience is the most important factors for them.
Okay. Maybe elaborate a little bit more around sort of how you've been working with Mohsen and his team, sort of how this partnership has developed. Obviously, you're in the same conglomerate, but you're on one of the brands, and Mohsen is sort of at the Kingfisher level. Explain to us how this partnership came about.
So our mission at Screwfix is to allow our customers to get their jobs done quickly, affordably, and right first time. And AI image search plays perfectly into that. So allowing our tradespeople to use photos or images to find the products that they need on the job will speed up their buying journey. So that's one of our use cases. In addition to that, we also have many customers where English isn't their first language, so often being able to use search, not knowing what parts are called or how to spell them is quite difficult for them. So again, using images to do that makes it more convenient and simpler for them. So that's what That's what
That's what
Mo
you guys
has
have
been
been
helping
building.
with us.
So really sort of, if we take a step back, in tech world, multimodal capabilities because you're leveraging images. And then you're also doing from a translation standpoint, again, obviously to facilitate, which is really all about delivering trade experience. That's awesome. Maybe a little bit more context. Obviously, we all have competitors in our different markets. Give us some perspective as to how you think this sort of puts you in a better position to compete in the market as it relates to this platform, what you're delivering.
Yeah, so I think as I think Anne-Marie mentioned, these days it's not about if you need to use generative AI, it's about how fast you can get that rollout, and in our case, how fast we can enable our banner to get that competitive advantage, right, versus all competitors. So, and to address that, we have started building a framework we call Athena. And that's our generative AI orchestration framework built on Google Cloud that significantly speed up the time to market of getting generative AI into almost any application that helps our either colleagues or our customer experience. So I hope we can show a glimpse of that at some point today, right? So to demonstrate how we can use that on a Screwfix lens as a case study that we're showcasing on the floor today, but also how we can spice it up with a bit of generative AI.
Okay, and by the way, they have a partner booth actually in the showcase. So if anyone's interested, Most and his team are, I believe, are showing demos later on.
And you get free vouchers from Screwfix. So.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There's something free in it too.
to buy your Christmas jumper with.
To buy your Christmas jumper. There we go. Maybe give a little bit more context. Sort of, obviously, this is a great starting point, but I know you have big plans for thinking about generative AI at Screwfix. Maybe Sarah, just share a little bit more around sort of how you're thinking about where you could take this more broadly on the channel.
I think that's one for you.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing, right? It's about how in the next coming months, right? So at the moment we have a long list of AI demand, and that's one of the things we're going to go through. I mean, as we talking, actually people talking our 2-year plan, I think talking about the decision of where we use AI. But the idea here is how we can build framework around our AI capabilities, right? So Lens that we demonstrate today, or Athena that we can talk about. So we have perception for forecasting engine. So we have many framework that they are designed to be multimodal and also multi-tenant, we call, because it needs to support our multiple banners. And we have a big brands, right?
Yes.
So Screwfix and B&Q, you want to go that scale, you can't just do, every 6 months you can't just release a model. You have to build it once in a way that you can just launch it for multiple brands. So hopefully in the next coming weeks, I would say, so there are some good news.
You can start to roll it out to some of the other brands
exactly.
as capability. That's awesome. Okay, well, here's the good thing is we're doing a live demo. So with that...
We're trying to do it live.
We're trying to do a live demo.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to ask Mohsen to go up to the stage, and we'll see a demo, and then we'll close out this section, and he will be doing them later. That's for sure.
Amazing. Can we switch on the... thank you so much. So we talk about the Screwfix Lens. You can try it on the show floor. But so what I'm going to show is how you can combine multiple AI services to build a better customer experience. I'm going to start my search journey with uploading an image. We talk about visual search, but a few more things are going to happen on the screen, so I want you to watch closely, okay? So because we can't talk about that. So I'm going to upload that image. We get the search result, and this is our visual search technology called Lens, and you can see there's something pop up, right? So I'm going to maximize this to explain. So first thing that happened, if you realize, so on the left-hand side, when we get the images, we scan through 60,000 product catalog of Screwfix. Each of them has multiple images. We get that through fraction of a second, right? That's one thing, which is, which we're using our GPU cluster on Google. On the right-hand side, we have Athena deployed and is kind of aware of what is happening on the screen. We don't be typing anything. Now it knows what was the image I loaded and also what was the result. It tries to tell you, oh, it seems they're running a quite few drill, and so how can I help you? If I go and just select one particular product, again, I go and get the product information, which is amazing. But on the background, Athena also go and access not only product information on the website, but for some of our internal information. So it tries to summarize the highlight of the, this particular drill. This is a versatile tool, blah, 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 blah. But if I go and actually try to ask a very technical question, okay, I'm going to type it, how to change the function mode for this drill. So this is a very technical question. It may not be available on the website. But what you can see that happen, that Athena goes and try to answer that question. It just say, this is how you change this function mode. But it also references to the user manual, which is completely internal to our organization. And it tells you which page. It tells you go see page 21. If I click on that link, I'm going to download the file, and it just goes and scroll to the right page, right? And just say, here is how you can actually just go and just change that. So, and this is how you actually combine Visual Search and Gemini. And just one more thing is, if I scroll down now, you can see the third technology comes in, and this is our in-house recommendation engine. So I start my journey with Visual Search, with visual aspect of the product, but now our recommendation engine tries to give you some similar functional product to what you're looking for. It just says these rails are functionally do the same thing, but also we're looking at millions of customer transactions to tell you what are the product that goes well with that product, right? And then you can see you have Visual Search, you have Gen AI, you have some more classical machine learning algorithm just combined to provide the customer experience you want for your customer. So, and I think that's it, Oliver.
That's awesome. Please give a round of applause for Mohsen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, well, I think that demo just really brings to life sort of multiple capabilities and the personalization around the experience for the trades. And they also, by the way, deliver within 60 minutes, which was something new that I found out yesterday. So you can either go pick it up or within a 60-minute period. So just that full life cycle of customer experience is really the power of generative AI. So with that, we're going to switch gears a little bit. And we're going to talk about a little bit how all of this magic is made possible, quite frankly, by our infrastructure. Please welcome to the stage, Sachin.
All right, good morning. Now, the pace of change with AI is simply amazing. To keep up with that pace of change, in fact, to stay ahead of that pace of change, you need modern infrastructure. And when we think about modern infrastructure, it's about infrastructure that's optimized for AI. It's about your compute, your storage, your networks, and infrastructure that can be out at the edge or on-prem in your own data centers. Now, we've taken decades of learnings and experience in AI and brought together a new architecture that we call the AI hypercomputer. The AI hypercomputer is about hardware, software, and consumption models that provide, in our estimation, twice the advantages of a hardware-only approach. It starts from the foundation, which is how we build our data centers, how we think about liquid cooling, how we do optical switching. Inside those data centers, how we think about the network fabric. It's about the latest generation NVIDIA GPUs. It's about the 6th generation of TPUs that we've been working on for the last decade. On top of that hardware infrastructure is the software layer. This is where we support the leading frameworks such as JAX and PyTorch. And we integrate those and we optimize those to work on GPUs and TPUs underneath. We also support slicing and multi-host inferencing, so you can scale out with the largest of models and the largest amounts of data across that infrastructure. And then with GKE, you can abstract that infrastructure and get the most efficient use out of it. On top of this, we give you the regular consumption models with compute, but we've also introduced dynamic workload scheduler, which allows you to provide batch type of workloads for AI. And then Vertex AI helps you manage the entire lifecycle of AI. By leveraging the AI hypercomputer, LiveX was able to get an over 6x improvement in response time, while saving 50% on TCO and getting to market 25% more quickly. Now, storage is also a very critical component of AI-optimized infrastructure. You have to think about how quickly can you load models from block storage using hyperdisk ML into your GPUs. Efficiently using the GPUs is extremely critical to get the most value out of what you're spending. After that, you may need parallel store because your workload requires the latency, the throughput of a parallel file system that is leading in the industry. And for a wide variety of workloads, you can use Google Cloud Storage because it has massive scale and it's extremely cost-effective. And if you need a file API on top of your object storage, you can use GCS Fuse. And that's exactly what Toyota is doing. By leveraging GCS Fuse, they get the performance, they get the scale, they get the simplicity. And they get all of this at 50% lower cost. Choosing the right storage for your ML training and inferencing can create a huge advantage for you. Now, while our public cloud regions are absolutely the best place to run your ML workloads, sometimes because you have regulatory requirements, sovereignty requirements, you cannot move that data into the public cloud. Or it may be latency requirements or survivability because you have a retail store or a manufacturing or logistics site that must keep running. For that, we introduced Google Distributed Cloud. Google Distributed Cloud brings the power of Google Cloud to the edge, starting in 1RU servers, all the way into your data centers with hundreds of racks. Google Distributed Cloud can be connected where it is operated centrally through the Google SRE team, or it can be 100% air-gapped, requiring no connectivity to the internet or to Google Cloud to operate for the most sensitive applications and for the most stringent requirements. Now, that's about the infrastructure that runs at the edge or on-prem. On top of that infrastructure, we bring you our APIs such as translation, OCR, speech-to-text. We also bring you the ability to do enterprise search on your own data, on your premises, without it ever leaving your premise. And we bring a leading vector database with AlloyDB so that you can get latest technologies like retrieval augmented generation as you build your generative AI applications. So compute, storage, and then infrastructure that can be at the edge or in your own data centers, if that is something you require. Now, having spent 25 years and more in networking, I know it's very easy, if something goes wrong, to blame the network. If you architect correctly, you can ensure that you are ready for anything that the AI workloads demand. That is why we introduced a new architecture called the cross-cloud network. Cross-cloud network makes it simple and secure to connect your on-prem data centers, to connect other clouds into Google for training and inferencing. When you think about it, you have data that you must connect to your models, that you must connect to your agents, assistants, or applications. And you want to be able to do that with the best performance, the best latency, security of your choice, so the best of breed security that you have certified for your own use, delivered to you in the cloud anywhere you need it. And that is what the cross-cloud network is about. And then when you think about inferencing, it's extremely important to load balance effectively across your GPU and TPU infrastructure, so load balancing with custom metrics, and to have the ability to insert pieces of software, pieces of code for things like AI safety or ML safety and observability throughout the infrastructure. Now, to learn more about TPUs, GPUs, storage, networking, distributed cloud, join me tomorrow in my breakout right here, and we'll talk more about modern infrastructure. But right now, I'd like to invite to the stage my colleague Yasmin, who will cover data and analytics.
Thank you. Thank you, Sachin. So the Industrial Revolution transformed society as we know it. It automated physical labor, sparking unprecedented economic growth and the modern era as we know it. And actually today, we stand on the precipice of another revolution, one not driven by steam and machines, but rather data and algorithms. GenAI is automating intellectual labor, giving us the potential to unlock new levels of productivity and innovation to reshape the world. However, as we think about GenAI and applying GenAI to all of the data that we have, it's not without its challenges. Because today, 90% of the world's data, 90% of your business data, is actually what we call dark data. It's multimodal data in PDFs, documents, images. It's not been the data that we've traditionally used for data and analytics. Traditionally, we've not had the tools to be able to unlock that data, but with GenAI today, we have those tools. We can apply GenAI to vast volumes of now multimodal data to solve problems that were very hard before. Think mapping the human genome. Today, we can do it in days versus decades. We can create personalized learning plans for every single student. We can analyze vast troves of data to understand climate effects and predict and mitigate those effects. However, scaling to solve all of those problems is also not easy today, because today, data and analytics is a human-driven effort, and humans, we're a finite resource. So scaling humans to now process and understand that 90% of data is not possible. But this is where the second act of GenAI comes in. We can use GenAI to augment humans. In fact, we've seen new assistive co-pilots, assistive GenAI chatbots appearing everywhere to help assist humans. And although those assistants are super useful, actually, I would challenge that the form that they're in today is not ideal. Having just GenAI as a question-answer machine is not what we need. We need GenAI that actually breaks out of those side panels and meets the user where they are. So this is AI not just assisting humans, but rather it's human-assisted AI. If I'm a data engineer, I want GenAI that is embedded in my data pipelines, that can identify the challenges in the data, that can clean the data, that can be looking for anomalies, and also securing PII information. If I'm a data analyst, I want GenAI that is operating on all of those real-time streams of data, looking for insights, looking for interesting patterns, proactively informing me. And if I'm a business user, I want a GenAI that understands my imperfect prompts, understands the nuances of my business language, and is able to give me trusted answers. But are LLMs really ready to be in the driver's seat to take on the task of automating much of that data analytics activity? Well, in the traditional sense, we've seen LLMs as those question-answer machines, but actually, we're seeing huge amounts of advancement in GenAI, with our DeepMind teams looking at how these models are evolving. And what we see is, as these models grow to the very large scale, like Gemini, we see new emergent capabilities with LLMs. These are capabilities that LLMs were not necessarily programmed to do. It's complex reasoning, nuanced understanding, even problem solving. LLMs are not just simply answering questions from complex networks, they're learning on the fly. They're now able to take a problem, break it down into subtasks, and even learn how to use tools to solve those problems. It's like watching your child grow up and learn new skills, except it's happening at lightning speed. So with these LLMs and their new superpowers, we've put them to work. In our engineering teams, we've taken our best data engineers, our best data analysts, our best data experts, and asked them to work with LLMs to build new data agents. Let's take a look at one of those data agents, conversational analytics. This is an experience designed for business users. With our conversational analytics agent, it leverages BigQuery, Looker, and Gemini to be able to answer questions. So we ask, what's our top selling drinks this week? The agent is able to retrieve data from BigQuery and build charts, visualizations on the fly. We can deep dive into this insight and look at what's the average sale for first-time visitors. Now, it's not just simply doing question answer against data. What this agent is doing is it's going back to the semantic model to understand the calculation for sales and running that on the fly. It's also understanding from the semantics what we mean by first-time visitors. We can continue to deep dive. How does our total sales forecast look like for the next 30 days? Our data agent is now tapping into predictive machine learning capability from BigQuery to produce a future-looking forecast. It also provides these summaries, so it's giving you insights about what it can see in the forecast. And as we drill down further to what are our top-performing locations, what we see is it's a dialogue. Our agent understands what we've asked before and is able to continue with those insights. We can delve deeper and ask, hey, how do we help our Berlin locations? And this is where the agent gets into scenario planning and can help you look at potential options. It even has access to Google Maps APIs and geodata in BigQuery to be able to create interesting visualizations. And if we take one of its suggestions and run a campaign, and now we want to know how that campaign is performing, we can ask it, hey, how is this new combination performing? And here, we're giving the agent an image. It's able to break down that multimodal data, that image, to identify the products and give us a response around how those products are performing. This is the power of multimodal AI put to work for business users. It's a multi-turn dialogue, not a simple question-answer. You'd no longer need a BI expert to answer your questions. We have a data agent that is able to understand questions, build predictions, look at scenarios, and potentially even answer questions you didn't know to ask. What you saw there is powered by our Looker conversational APIs. APIs that are going to be available this month for our customers and partners to build your own data agents. In fact, we used those APIs to build conversational analytics in Looker for business users who use our BI suite today. But we didn't just stop with business users. We're also thinking about what those data experts are doing. When I used to run data science teams here in Europe, what I understood was actually the maths is the simple part. The best data scientists, the best engineers, the best analysts were those who could actually bring business context to the conversation. They could blend business context to understand what question to ask, how to interpret an insight. And so this is why with our data agents, we give you the ability for your data experts to give context to the agent. Golden prompts, instructions, semantics. And we're taking this and we're also applying it for data analysts. So my second data agent experience that is now available in GA is our data insights experience. This is designed for data analysts who typically have to wade through lots of multimodal data to find those needles in a haystack. Data insights now makes that easy.
It's able to identify what's the important data, look for correlations, look for associations, and proactively bring insights to the forefront. In fact, one of our customers told us that what used to take their data analysts 24 hours now only takes an hour. But we didn't just stop there. Our third data agent that we're announcing in preview today is data preparation. This agent is designed for data engineers. Data engineers who typically spend copious amounts of time building massive big data pipelines can now use this data agent. It does automatic data cleanup, enrichment, even automated schema mapping, hugely accelerating the work of building data pipelines. And as I said, our data agents are not generic. They're built into your data cloud. And in fact, they operate on top of the data cloud and our dynamic knowledge graph in the data cloud. This knowledge graph has access to usage, metadata, history, semantics. It's all that data, activity, relationships that give these agents context to be able to provide trusted answers. Now, we've spoken about AI data agents and GenAI and how it's evolved. But actually, as the name implies, there's a second important ingredient: data. And the question is your data ready for this future of data agents? Well, when I talk to many customers, they tell me, data ecosystems today are messy, they are chaotic. We've got data locked away in different repositories, we've got different engines and workloads. Yes, we have all of the choice today, but actually that choice in those ecosystems has led to no flexibility. Lots of cost, lots of latency, lots of complexity. And so earlier this year, we spoke about bringing together all of the capabilities in Google's Data Cloud and unifying those capabilities to simplify the future data platform. And today, I'm excited to talk about our unified BigQuery platform that now integrates Google's data and AI capabilities into a single, unified, seamless experience. This platform brings together multimodal data, whether it's sitting in GCP or it's connected to AWS or Azure. As we bring together that multimodal data, we're infusing capabilities into the data platform. Things like vision AI, document AI, speech-to-text processing that make it easy to get insights out of unstructured data. In addition to that, we know data comes at different speeds, and especially in today's world, you just heard earlier, customers want real-time delivery, real-time responses. And so we're very pleased to announce today in GA our managed service for Apache Kafka and in preview our service for Apache Flink, allowing you to bring data in real time. Now, it's not just about ingesting data in real time. We're also today announcing new capabilities in our data marketplace that allow you to share data back out in real time. And once you have that data foundation with lots of different data coming at different speeds, what's critical is having the engines to operate on top of that data. And again, in our data platform, we want to give you complete choice of engine. Some users prefer SQL, others prefer Python, and now we are bringing a new serverless Spark engine to operate inside of our BigQuery unified platform. Lots of tools and capabilities integrated in the platform. But it's actually not just about integrating tools and capabilities. What makes the platform unified? To have a truly unified and seamless platform, we also need unified access, governance, and orchestration in the platform. That's the glue that brings the platform together. So also today, we're excited to announce now in GA our BigQuery unified catalog, allowing you to have a single layer of governance over all types of data, multimodal data, structured data. But we also extend governance beyond data to your AI models, to your BI assets, making sure that you not only govern the data, but also how data is used. And within that catalog, we are announcing BigQuery semantic search that allows you to search through all of those assets, whether you're a technical or non-technical user, making it really easy to find those assets you're looking for. And for that orchestration, we are launching BigQuery workflows. Imagine the ability to build thousands of workflows, all being orchestrated either via API or a simple unified interface. This platform is critical as the foundation for those data agents that I spoke about. But also, this platform is critical for you to be able to unlock value in that multimodal data. That's why we've also focused over this year integrating BigQuery with Vertex AI, bringing together data and AI, bringing capabilities like fine-tuning, retrieval augmented generation, inferencing, and vector search. I could talk about these all day, so given we're short on time, I'm going to focus on one of the key ones I'm super excited about, and that's vector search. Imagine search on your business data. It's been the holy grail for us at Google. And today, what we're announcing in preview is our scan algorithm, now available in vector search in BigQuery. This is the same algorithm that powers some of Google's primary services. Think Google Search, think YouTube. That's 12 years of research and innovation around search that is now available inside the data platform. The capabilities that I've described today, the data agents, the unified platform, bringing together lots of data at different speeds, these capabilities are ushering in a new era of data management. With AI data agents at the core, our data platform is able to activate data like never before. This is not just a data platform, it's a paradigm shift. Think about data that works for you. It anticipates your needs. It proactively informs you about insights and helps you make critical decisions. This is a future where data is no longer a burden, but actually an opportunity for explosive growth. So join us on this journey and embrace the future of your data. With that, I'd love to invite now Chris Cord, our Managing Director of Security Products, to talk about security data agents. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Yasmin. So yeah, I'm Chris Cord. I'm Managing Director of Security Products, here to talk a little bit about security agents. And I've been in security for 20 plus years now, and it's a pretty exciting time. I think this is one of the biggest shifts that we've seen in the industry in general, in terms of where we're kind of advancing from a technology perspective, our ability to stay ahead of attackers. And the reason for that is, the ability now for generative AI to really provide more complex reasoning over data. It's not just about how you can just simply retrieve and maybe summarize information anymore, but instead it's about the ability for us to replicate and in some cases replace tasks that security analysts would have to do by having these security agents providing more complex reasoning. And this capability can actually help across the security lifecycle, from prevention to detection to response. In each one of these areas, we typically rely on very seasoned analysts and a lot of human expertise to perform these tasks. Not just expertise, but also time and effort to perform these tasks. And time and effort, typically equals money in most cases. And at best, that's going to be a time-consuming and costly exercise. In a worst-case scenario, you're going to be a step behind the attackers. And so what we really want to be able to do is have security agents start to change that paradigm, draw off large amounts of training information, really be in-depth, seasoned analysts as they perform their tasks, and be able to make better and more informed decisions, which will help you be more secure. So with Gemini, we've now sprinkled a lot of these security agent level functionality throughout the lifecycle. So let's take an example of prevention as a first case. And so with Gemini Gemini and Google Threat Intelligence, we have a feature called Code Insight. And what Code Insight does is it actually analyzes files and analyzes them for malware execution, within a matter of seconds, right? And so this is a task traditionally you would leave up to either analysts to run files through, a sandbox or do some sophisticated analysis, or you would rely on kind of traditional hash-based analysis to happen in a more traditional AV sense. And now you can actually run this through a full security agent LLM model to perform this malware analysis. And as you can imagine, this potentially will change the way we do any type of malware scanning and any type of AV in the future. And even when you're not trying to do inline prevention of a particular file from executing, you can also use this as a backdrop to do additional analysis when you're trying to triage a particular event. Let's say you got a file that was marked as a malicious executable in your security operations platform. You can back it with Code Insight and do automated analysis against that file to determine whether or not it was a false positive or false negative, which is pretty game-changing functionality. Another example of prevention is how do we reduce or remove the ability to have misconfigurations or risky capability introduced into your code. And so with Gemini and Security Command Center, we can actually analyze your infrastructure as code pipeline, recognize where risky misconfigurations are going to get into production, and actually make remediation recommendations before those things even get into production, which again was another capability that would take long amounts of human toil and effort to be able to perform those tasks. For efficient security operations, what you really need to be able to do is provide detection of malicious behavior as quickly and as efficiently as possible. That's the name of the game. That's how you reduce dwell time and stop attackers from getting in. And so with Gemini and security operations, we can actually improve the lives of SOC analysts, people in front of the screen doing detection engineering and detection threat hunting on an everyday basis. And we do this today through something that we refer to as our investigation assistant that actually allows you to mimic and perform investigation tasks in a very efficient manner. And it's heavily trained on our Google Threat Intelligence data, so it actually is like having a very seasoned threat intelligence analyst sitting at your side. And as we look towards the future, we actually expect Gemini to start performing fully autonomous threat hunting tasks, meaning that it can actually take latest threat information and perform these threat hunts in a fully autonomous way for you, which again is going to be a truly game-changing functionality. And then lastly, let's talk about response, right? This is where we spend a large amount of time as security analysts, day in, day out, actually trying to triage and manage security alerts and figure out which things are false positives and false negatives. Today, we provide better productivity for customers inside of security operations by giving them things like case summaries or playbook generation on the fly. And in the future, we can actually expect security agents to perform alert triage on your behalf, where they'll actually be able to analyze, understand a case or an alert, and determine whether or not it's malicious or not malicious. And this is one reason a lot of organizations are turning to security operations like Pfizer. While they were saving the world from COVID, they were also using security operations to secure their environment, and they can analyze way more information more efficiently than they ever could before. And then lastly, let's talk a little bit about how you run AI securely. So it's hard to talk about AI and security without understanding how we manage secure infrastructure. And so, the first thing that we do is we also ensure that whenever you're running your AI models, and that could be your general purpose AI models, you're actually running in a way that we have the right privacy controls, the right sovereignty, the right encryption, the right auditing on the back end. And so we also handle the secure infrastructure piece. And the other thing that we've done is we've also pioneered the secure AI framework, which is actually the ability for you to actually interface with AI interfaces more securely from the ground up. So we do that in Security Command Center. We can actually monitor your interfaces with AI models to look for things like malicious code injection or other malicious activity that might be happening on the fly. And so beyond our products, we also have Mandiant, which provides, deep levels of consulting and expertise that they can provide you. This isn't just about incident response. So obviously Mandiant is known for incident response, but they can also do more proactive analysis and provide more guidance around how to build and provide a better security profile from the ground up. And they also do this for the use of AI infrastructure and the AI models inside your organization. So if you're looking for more expertise and a better understanding of how to leverage AI more securely, you can also leverage Mandiant from an expertise perspective to build some proactive readiness. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Vishnu to talk a little bit about employee agents.
Hi everyone, I'm Vishnu Savaji, Director of Product Management for Google Workspace. So let's talk about employee agents, which help our workers be more productive and collaborate better. Customers are thinking about employee agents in multiple ways. Many use Gemini for Workspace to improve team productivity and collaboration. You can think of this as a pre-packaged agent that is available for you in all your favorite apps. No additional configurations needed. Others are using our AI platform and Gemini to build employee agents for specific roles in your organization, such as legal or HR, or for specific industries, such as agents to assist doctors and nurses. Let's first focus on Gemini for Google Workspace, our AI-powered agent built right into products like Gmail, Docs, Sheets, and more. Gemini doesn't just help our customers be more productive. It sort of operates like a member of their team. You need a quick answer on something, just ask Gemini. You need a world-class note-taker for a really important meeting where you need to pay attention, bring Gemini along. Need insights from a dozen analyst reports? Gemini is your research partner. Customers really appreciate the quality of output that Gemini for Workspace provides. More than 70% of Help Me Write users in Docs and Gmail accept and use Gemini suggestions almost every day. And more than 75% of people who create images in products like Google Slides insert them into their presentations. But we've been hard at work. We have made many updates just this year for Gemini in Google Workspace. I'm going to talk through just a couple of them. First, many customers have asked for a way to get AI-powered Google Meet and Chat company-wide at a lower price, in particular to move away from products like Zoom. In a recent benchmarking study that tested the top video conferencing products, Meet outperformed Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and WebEx in overall video and audio performance. And so to get these great video calling capabilities, along with the power of generative AI, we rolled out an AI meetings and messaging add-on. So this gives customers the power of capabilities like Take Notes for Me, real-time translated captions, and chat for only about £8 per user per month. Second, to help businesses of all sizes keep up with the evolving security landscape, we've made our AI-powered data protection available with our new AI security add-on. Workspace admins can automatically classify and protect sensitive files and data using privacy-preserving AI models trained specifically for their organization. Third, Gemini and Chat will soon be able to catch you up on really long conversation threads. It'll summarize decisions, and it'll operate like a real-time collaborative partner right there in Chat. And it's not just Gemini for Workspace that's helping our customers make AI-powered work easy. Employees need to be able to access solutions from anywhere, and they need a device that's fast, powerful, and secure. And so our Chromebook Plus devices bring the best of Google AI to users' fingertips, with built-in features and twice the power, speed, memory, and storage when compared to other products. They are powerful, affordable devices designed to meet the needs of your team at a lower cost. Now let me show you how our customers are bringing employee agents to automate workflows that are tedious and repetitive. Vertex AI, when combined with Google Workspace and Gemini, lets you create powerful employee agents. First, you can create custom models in the ways that we've shown before. From there, you can connect them to all your company and web data. This can be done, of course, with translation, so all information is available regardless of language. As you've heard before from other speakers today, we support multimodal inputs. So this means videos, calls audio, images, PDFs, in addition to text. And finally, you'll want to ground that in enterprise truth using databases like AlloyDB, BigQuery, and data from enterprise apps like SAP and HubSpot. I'm going to close with an example of a customer who's brought all of this together. Ava is KPMG's enterprise platform and AI assistant built on Gemini and Vertex AI Agent Builder. It has already helped over 18,000 people at KPMG across the globe with a variety of tasks and workflows that include policy digitalization, e-discovery, report, and presentation generation. So whether it's boosting productivity with Gemini for Workspace, enhancing security with our AI add-ons, or building custom employee agents, Google Workspace is embracing the future of work and helping you make that happen as well. Anne-Marie, back to you.
Well, I hope you found the session this morning actually really informative, and I hope memorable for the right reasons. We've had such a good time on stage here talking to you. We've actually taken you slightly over time. So I'm going to end the session now. Thank you ever so much for your attention. Please don't forget, enjoy the breakout sessions. You've got a break now, and of course, we've got the drinks at the end of today. So enjoy. Thank you very much.